Hey y'all, I'm CassB and welcome back to my channel. So many of you are often interested in knowing what a day in the life of a CassB looks like and what we do here at the studio. And so the honest answer to that question is that it looks different every single day. But I did think that it would be fun to show you guys a little bit of insight, a little bit of a sneak peek of some of the things that we've been working on most recently. So as you all know, here at the studio, we specialize in all things custom for bridal and evening wear. Obviously, some days we land much more towards bridal and other days much more towards evening wear. But we're gonna cover all of those concepts today. So for the three main things that we're gonna go over today, we're gonna start with actually one of our redesigned and refreshed looks that we're doing for our rental catalog. Next, we're gonna move to stepping into the pageant industry. We've been working on several of these gowns that I'm so excited to show you all. And then finally, we'll end leaning much more towards a bridal wedding gown that we've been working on for a couple of months now. So without further ado, let's head on upstairs. Okay, so we're gonna start with something that we've been working on for our rental catalog. So I've done another video on this in the past, so scroll back through the videos on my page, and if you're wondering why rental catalog and how we came up with all the pieces for it, go check that video out. But today we're going to be refreshing one of our rental catalog pieces. The reason for this is that just over time, with all the different amount of wears and the photographers taking pictures of it, the garments just undergo a little bit of wear and tear. So we of course allot enough time to make those adjustments, but this is one of the pieces, the two, that I started working on and made whenever I was just starting out designing. I didn't have a really good understanding of the type of tool that we needed to use for this, and so even after like 2 wears, it was just picking and ruffling weird and leaves stuck in it, and so we're just gonna remake the skirt is the biggest thing. So you see a little bit of it behind me. And so to do this, we lay out our instructions for all of our measurements so that we have detailed instructions so that we can keep track of what our pattern pieces look like. We're gonna be layering it with our liner, our inner liner, we'll have a waistband of course, and then the biggest and most time consuming part of all of this is cutting out the tulle part of the section for the skirt. So this starts with, anywhere between 30 to 40 yards of fabric. We have this really great soft extra wide bridal tulle that we use now. And so ultimately you cut the same panels out of your skirt, and then once you've gotten those assembled, you're gonna move towards all of these ruffles. And so this is where all of that 30 to 40 yards comes from. It takes a lot of time. Bailey, our designer who works here as well, has been spending a lot of really solid work hours on this, and this will actually be done on the 19th of this month, so we've got just a couple weeks. So just so that you don't think that everything always runs smoothly, we actually did run out of tulle halfway through working on this, and so it's not that we didn't know how much tulle to use because we've made this style of skirt before, but more so we made a couple veils in between. So we have that on order, that's coming in, but that's pretty common for working on projects and running out of materials halfway through, and so that's why you have to start as early as possible. So as you can see, we've gotten a little bit of this finished, but we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next look that we've been working on, and we're gonna show you guys the progression of. Okay, so as we're gonna go to get our next piece that we've been working on, anything that we've been working on for clients that is in a garment bag, has got all of its stuff stuck together with it, is gonna be in our client work closet. So you can see, at this time of year, we're starting to get really busy, so it's even not as packed as it will get within the next month. So we've got all things that we've been working on in here, and then in other places as well. So let's go ahead and get hers out so that you can see what we've been working on. Okay, so for this pageant gown that we're working on, this is actually an example of maybe the budget didn't allow for a complete custom gown, and so also what we do here at CassB is customizations and alterations. So the gown itself needed to be hemmed, yes, and it had some adjustments that need to be made to the top, but on top of that, she wanted it completely redesigned, so we just weren't happy with how it originally looked. So as you can see, that it started with this white sheer overlay on the top, which she actually thought was going to be nude, but it ended up being white instead. Not sure about that. We didn't like these appliques. They just kind of look dated to me. Even though they're nice appliques, they just maybe didn't make so much sense in this situation. So what we did is we met together for our custom design consultation to explore all of our options. And so we decided upon adding a lot of turquoise in addition to keeping the white ensemble that always does so well sparkling on stage. So to get started, rhinestones are one of the things that take the longest to arrive. I like to order them from a wholesale website. As a designer, this is something that you can kind of go back and forth with your vendors for. I get a lot of mine from AliExpress, but I also have a link to my Amazon shop if you guys are interested in all of these rhinestone applicators, as well as these flatback stones, the B7000, and all the tools that you might need. So the first step in this is, of course, we will take our heat erase pen and we're going to outline all of the sections where we're going to place our rhinestones. If you're doing any work like this with embroidery or hand beading, I absolutely recommend getting some of these pens. These are actually from Wawak Sewing. We do a lot of business with them, so the link to purchase those is in the description if you guys are interested in those. We draw out our lines, and you see we're coming in with our rhinestones. You can see that they're blending really beautifully together. We've detached this bodice completely from the overall gown. We resculpted it a little bit, if you remember, and then ultimately we'll be trickling down onto the arm capes and the skirt as well with all of these stones. So this is a really, really fun project. We've officially stepped into the world of pageantry within the last year and a half, and this year we have another one that we're going to be working on. So this one is really fabulous. This was actually going to be in the Miss USA pageant. I won't share any more names or details because I don't want to spill the beans ahead of time. So this is obviously a really fun project. I'm really passionate about anything covered in sparkles, obviously. And so now that we've touched on the rental catalog, refresh and redesign some of our pieces, and we looked at some of the pageant, let's take a step into the world of wedding and look at one of the most recent custom bridal gowns that we've not only been working on for the last couple of months, but we'll be finishing up this week. So let's take a look. Okay, so I'm really excited about this wedding gown. This is a custom commission that we started all the way in spring of last year. So if you're ever wondering, how early do I need to begin this process? As soon as you think about it, let's start talking about it, honestly. But a year out is very, very common. And so within that time frame, we'll get you booked for your custom design consultation, and then between 6 to 9 months out is when we really make decisions on fabric and start to order everything. We'll get you set up with your fitting schedule that makes sense with your time frame, and then actual fit adjustments will start about 4 to 3 months out from your wedding, which seems like it's bumping up pretty close, but for custom design, trust in the process, it really turns out really fabulously. So previously to this, we actually did a little bit of a step-by-step tutorial on the courses, so definitely go check those videos out on my channel. With this one, we are finishing up our final fitting this week. So the last little tidbits that we need to make adjustments on this is going to be adding our second little drop sleeve. We just did a tutorial on this. Go check that video out. We're going to make sure that those are nice and attached, and we're going to add our placement to make sure that our skirt has a very seamless transition. And then finally, we're going to come in with all these different styles of veils because we included that within our custom package this time. But we need to still try each of the 3 options on so that she can decide what she wants. So like I said, this one will actually be finished up this week. So all in all today, I hope this gave you guys a little bit of insight on, yes, everything that we do is different every day, and you really just have to do a little bit at a time to be able to juggle so many different projects. We have a lot of fun things that we're working on this spring, and so we'll do probably more of these videos as well so that you can see all the goodies as they come to progression. If you're interested in seeing step-by-step, more progression videos, definitely check out my Instagram account. I usually post most of the reels actually showing everything coming together on there, and that design account is A13, CassB by Design, so go ahead and give that a follow. And I'm always interested to hear your thoughts and if you had questions about anything that we talked about today. So don't forget to leave those in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next week.